And we're walking by, and I'll never forget this homeless guy goes, "He smells like shit." Inappropriate. Inappropriate.
Hello and welcome to a world where laughter knows no boundaries, where the absurdities of life are dissected with unapologetic honesty, and where two best friends fearlessly dive into the depths of hilarity. This is Inappropriate with Jim and Steve, the podcast that pushes the limits of comedy and leaves no topic untouched. Join us as we navigate the wild and unpredictable journey of life, love, and everything in between. Get ready to laugh, cringe, and maybe even question your own sanity. Buckle up, because things are about to get hilariously inappropriate.
I'm Jim.
I'm Steve.
And it is a little special day today, Steve, isn't it?
It is a big special day.
I mean, we could have just said, "Welcome to the Jim, Joe, Steve show."
I know it was going to be a topic of conversation, but I never said anything about it.
Special guest, Joe from the Jim, Joe, Steve show.
Hey guys, I just wanted to point out, I had no idea how flexible you were, because the way that your arm was able to go all the way behind you and pat yourself on the back with that intro was really impressive. That was good. I like that.
I kind of just wanted to spice it up, like set the groundwork for maybe people who are just tuning in lately.
ChatGPT wrote that, didn't it?
Yes.
I was about to ask. I was like, how long did it take you to write that? Because that was like,
It took me 3.25 seconds.
what do you type in for?
I said, "Give me a podcast intro for Inappropriate with Jim and Steve."
Oh, that's it.
And it gave me a podcast intro.
The world is over.
There's no such thing as originality anymore.
I know it's going to be everything's going to be written by AI.
I saw today a guy is producing 5 different podcasts, 100% AI written. He takes the words and puts it into an AI voice. Mm-hmm. The AI voice reads it, and he just puts it out.
Get out.
5 podcasts.
It's probably going to have a sponsor before we do.
He did say AI does not respond well and does not understand sarcasm. So I think it's still good for maybe information style podcasts, but you just can't replicate the chemistry that is this podcast.
Malcolm Gladwell's going out of business now.
Like, what if this planet is still pumping people out in like a million years? Like the one thing that like we've evolved to everything, and like the one thing that just like the nut that can't be cracked is sarcasm. Like we can't figure out where that comes from.
And that's going to be
the great equalizer.
We will be kings. So, Joe, welcome.
Thanks for having me back. I appreciate you letting me spend some time with you in the new studio. It's very fancy in here.
Well, thank you.
Was that a deciding factor? You were like, it is a new studio,
Yeah,
so I should.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, did you tell him that I showed up that one night, to surprise you guys?
I
damn
did.
it.
Yeah, but our listeners don't. I think. Well, when was it? Was
when you recorded with Phil.
We were going to record with Phil,
right? And that's what I wanted to, because I shout out to Phil. I love Phil.
And I had to cancel.
You had to cancel, but I wanted to surprise you guys. I was like,
Steve canceled at 6 o'clock, and then I told Phil, I'm like, hey, I had nothing tonight, and obviously there would be no reason for me to respond back to the chat like, hey, Joe, we're not recording, as if
totally.
And then I got a notice that your phone connected, and I was like, new device, and then I was like, and I checked the camera, and you're in your truck or something. And like I was like in the shower or like getting out of the shower, and you're like, surprise.
Surprise, motherfucker.
He's like, where's everybody at? I'm like, we're not recording tonight. And he's like, motherfucker.
God, let me turn around and truck an hour back.
So
like
sad.
I actually felt bad. Like there was nothing for me to feel bad about other than like it is an hour drive, and I'm like, if I would have known you were coming, I still probably would have had Phil come up. And it could have, obviously wouldn't have been able to record with Steve, but it would have still been decent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it would have been an all right episode.
All right, Steve, what you got?
Well, we are going to talk about a place that should never be swam in, but it's about to be swam in. And we're going to talk...
Is it swam or swimmed?
I know I said it wrong, but I just was
going... It might not be.
Swam is past tense, right?
Swam
here, I'll do
is past tense, but you're talking about something in the future.
Yeah.
Swimmed. I think swimmed would be.
A place where you never thought you were going to be able to swim.
There we go.
Has now been...
Now you can swim.
Now you can swim in it. It's swammable.
It's swammable.
Who's ready to play Splash, motherfucker?
And then we have definitely something I've been interested in is Jim's trip to Nashville.
Right.
I also have a great Florida man story. They haven't caught the guy, so he's still at large. Somebody who impersonates police officers in a very odd way.
Sure, it's going to be dicks.
It always includes
Quick
dicks.
with that. So my neighbor started listening, Brad. So shout out, Brad. And he's like, "You guys are always talking about dicks."
I'd be like, what else do you do with your bros?
So maybe less dick talk today.
I can't promise that.
There's no promises.
Not no dick talk, just less dick talk.
Do have a brag. So
let's get into this brag.
I just want to shout out to a person I work with, Jim. You know, you've played golf with him, Han.
I only know the legend of Han.
Han is a solid dude.
He is a solid dude, and he proposed to his girlfriend yesterday.
Well, and I'm
assuming yesterday our time, but
it's a brag, so she said yes.
She did say yes.
Okay.
The extent to which he did it puts probably everyone to shame. She flew in from Singapore.
And boy, were her arms tired.
She flew in from Singapore. He picked her up at LaGuardia Airport.
Oh, God. I mean, that's deserved of a trophy right there.
Yeah, he picked her up
terrible.
at LaGuardia Airport.
He lives down here?
Yeah.
And he drove...
He does every single time. That was actually going to be the initial brag I was going to do.
Get on the fucking train and just come down.
He proposed to her at the Smithsonian Gardens in D.C. He had a photographer in the bushes. So
like
when he jumped out, and he timed it to where it was like the perfect lighting for the shot. He went and like
God. So they rehearsed it. They like dress rehearsal.
He fucking rehearsed it, and I could he'll listen to this. So
how to get the golden hour shot?
Yeah,
sunset.
Basically what it was. And then he was trying to decide whether or not he wasn't sure because daylight savings time happened in between.
Oh, so
the time. So he's like, now
calculate.
was 2:00 the good time or 3:00 the good time?
Was he alive when that? Remember when that kid got caned for spray painting in Singapore?
Oh, he knows all about that.
Yeah, that was
a big deal.
I wasn't sure if it was like a big deal over there as it was here.
Because they just be caning people.
Because it's just like it's Tuesday. What are we gonna do? Like,
they have
let's see who's getting caned today.
Yeah. They have a robotic cane. So it's not like a person hits you. It's basically like a robo spanker.
So everybody gets the equal amount of force.
Yeah.
There's no human element.
There's no anger cane.
Right.
I want to have him on the podcast.
Let's have him on
to just
talk about that.
To talk about the differences with Singapore because it's crazy.
Han would be a good guess.
Is he here forever?
No, just for a couple of years.
Okay.
He did say that I believe if you get caned, like say they give you 10 canings. So they're not all on the same day.
That's because you like pass out.
And
like
then you got to come back. Like you have like 10.
So it's like if you got weekend jail.
Yeah, it's like weekend jail. So you got to come back every
shit ever when Dylan used to have to go to check into jail on Friday night and check out on Sunday. It was, God damn it, that was the funniest thing in the world to me.
It would be funny if over there they had your first 8 canings were scheduled. The last 2, you
just got a phone. You just got a phone.
They just showed up and just started whipping you. Someone, you could be in line getting coffee.
Surprise, motherfucker!
Surprise, surprise!
It just fucking comes out of nowhere.
Or what if you could opt for that? You could get 10 scheduled robotic canings, or 3 anytime they want.
But you can run. But if they catch you, you get more.
But you got to give them like a key to your house.
Like the nowhere's off limits.
Nowhere's off limits.
In the back of your car. Just like hop up.
You're taking a piss at the urinal and they just come up.
Well, congratulations, Han.
Congratulations, Han.
We'll talk about it more when we have you on the podcast.
When you introduce Han with a big gong sound.
I can't laugh at that because he's my friend. You went on a little trip this weekend.
Would you wear?
I don't wear my fucking
picture.
I know.
Yeah,
I got him too.
Yeah.
We went to the CMA'S. So
for those uninitiated, what does that acronym stand for?
Country Music Awards.
Okay.
I think everyone knows.
Is that
maybe
a
not.
common knowledge?
Maybe not. Okay, but CMA'S in Nashville.
We had a discussion about.
Yes, we had a discussion previous about going to award shows, and I said I would never go to award shows, but I think
unless I got a ticket.
Yeah.
But I thought the answer or the question before was to go to the after parties to see the celebrities.
Oh yeah.
I think that was how it was geared, and I was like, yeah, I wouldn't want to sit through an award show just to have the possibility of going. Anyway, I was scrolling through Facebook, like I don't know, like Thursday morning, and I saw breaking news: Post Malone, Hardy, and Morgan Wallen are confirmed to sing together at the CMA'S.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, that's fucking cool. Like, because I'm going to see Hardy next month in Savannah, Georgia. Morgan Wallen's my favorite guy, and then fucking Post Malone's my favorite guy. And I didn't even know you could go. Like
that's what I was gonna say. I didn't know you could just like buy tickets to an award show.
I never thought, and just for the fuck of it, I just went to Ticketmaster and just typed in CMA'S, and there was like 50 tickets left, and I was like, huh. So I told the wife, I'm like, hey, what are the odds you can get off next Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday? And she was like, 0. I was like, well,
I'm going to Nashville.
Might be a solo trip. And then she texted me back later. She's like, my mom will be willing to watch them. Can we leave later on Tuesday? I was like, yeah, fuck. All right. So
when was the show? On Tuesday or Wednesday?
The show was on Wednesday. She went to school for like a half day, 3/4 day, jetted to the fucking airport, flew in Tuesday. I got an Airbnb, went out and partied on Tuesday night.
Did you go to any of the after parties and see any celebrities?
I saw 0 celebrities.
Did you go to
Kid Rock's bar?
We went to Kid Rock's bar. We went to
Kid Rock wasn't there for the CMA'S.
He's never. No, he wasn't there for the CMA'S.
I feel like. So, how much were the tickets?
I can't do the math in my head right now, but they were $736 for 2.
All right,
$350.
Yeah,
$360. So was it live?
It was live.
So it was obvious every time they went to commercial break?
So that was kind of that was kind of the interesting things that I never saw, or like if you watch TV, when he goes to commercial break, you have however long it is. I don't know, 2 minutes or well, I don't know how long they were.
Is it at the Grand Ole Opry?
No, it was at Bridgestone Arena.
Oh, okay. Oh, damn. So like a big.
It was packed. It was packed.
Yeah.
So many boots and hats.
So many. The outfits,
belt buckles.
Fuck, I didn't have any belt buckles, but the women's outfits.
You've been just staring at
fucking.
There's one.
Dick with a mirror on top of it. Okay, but anyway, finish story. When it cut to commercial break, the lights came on, and then you had 2 minutes. If you didn't get back in your seat, you couldn't go to your seat after it started. You had to sit back in the concourse until the next commercial break.
It's like tennis, like a tennis match. I don't think you can do. I think it's the same thing.
Probably.
Like if they're in a volley, you can't like walk up and down the aisles.
And then like at a minute, somebody came on the loudspeaker said 1 minute till we go live, and then at 10 seconds or like 30 seconds, like everybody in your seat. 10 seconds, it was like 10 seconds to go, and at 5 seconds, he was like everybody start cheering, and then the whole place had to cheer. So when he cut in, people were clapping.
Is it?
They do that at Phillies games. When you go to when you try to go to your seat, if it's like in the middle of an at bat, they'll wait until like in between, like to the next batter.
So, is it fun to watch, or with those breaks in the middle of it, it makes it?
No, it was cool. I mean,
it's not really like watching a show because there's like a constant stop.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly wasn't like a concert, but I got to see a lot of people who I didn't see, and I checked off a lot of older artists that I probably wouldn't go see. That was kind of cool.
How long was the whole thing?
3 hours.
The best thing about that, like you going on that trip, was the picture you sent to us, where you were going to try to go out wearing shorts
and boots.
And boots. It looks so fucking ridiculous.
So my wife and I get there, right? So they had like barricaded off everywhere. We stayed purposely like about a block away from Bridgestone in downtown, and they had it all blocked off. So we had to walk around, which sucked. But anyway, we get there, and the line, it's a typical arena. So just imagine downtown. The line was all the way on one side, and then all the way down the long side.
Oh.
And then, like, it started to curl around. So almost more
Did it
than
go
half
to the bridge? Isn't there a bridge?
Oh, that's the other way. No, this is like around the block.
Okay.
Thousands of people in this line.
Because I guess they don't let you, it's not like going to a Titans game or something where they let you through any entrance.
Oh yeah, it was just the main.
Entrance.
I mean, it's just like
the special people get to go through the other entrances.
Yeah. Oh yeah, if you right. And then they had like little I don't know, gimmicky little red carpets with little shit behind you. You could take a picture that said like CMA'S. I don't know. So anyway,
did you guys do it?
No.
They were waiting for the take a picture with the wings in Nashville.
The wings.
Side note: that's such an unremarkable thing to do. Like everybody always gets pictures with the wings.
I don't know.
In Nashville, there is like wings painted on a wall.
It's a black wall, and they paint white wings. They're huge white wings, and everybody's, and they're just everyone does it.
Yeah.
Well, every woman that has ever been in Nashville does it, and you think it's this grand thing. When you go there in person, it's literally the wall of a parking garage. And there's like there's cars coming in and out of the parking garage. And they had to paint a section off the sidewalk that says do not, like, people would just block people.
Oh, really?
From, anyway. It's totally unremarkable when you go see it. And you're like, you could be walking past and you're like, oh, that's it. And like, there could be a line of people just waiting to take a picture for it. So anyway, there's I don't know, 5,000 plus people in this line. And then it has like a kind of a concourse area out front where the line starts and it kind of wraps around. And there's kind of people mingling in and out. Mm-hmm. And when we came around the building, we came around like in the main concourse. And I look around the corner and I'm like, oh, fuck. Like, we got to walk all the way. And Nicole was like, we ain't walking. I'm like, what are you going to do? She was like, just hang out here. And then the doors open exactly at 5:30. And I'm like, I'm not betting the butt in front of all these people. Like, somebody's going to fucking chop her head off. And she was like, I'm not fucking walking. I'm like, I don't want to be an asshole. And I also didn't want to wait in that fucking line. They opened doors at 5:30. And the people that we were standing around were kind of like just talking as if you were talking in a group, like not in line, because the line was, 7 people wide or whatever. And then we just... right in front of them, we were like the 15th person in the building.
Dude, that's some.
It was a baller move, but I felt like a piece of shit. But I had my ticket ready, and we were like dink dink. We didn't have purses or bags or anything, so like we didn't take any time to get in. But I still felt like a piece of shit.
Did you not look behind you to see the looks that you were getting?
He was like a little scrawny guy, and I thought, he's not going to say anything.
Not with these fucking dragon boots on.
It's not really an advantage in Nashville because everyone has boots on.
So, do you get to have drinks during it?
Yeah,
like,
it was a typical, like, I got a bucket of popcorn.
Some chicken tendies.
Yeah, we got drinks.
I just wondered.
The drinks. We got 2 big ass, like the big ass cans of High Noon.
Yeah.
2 of them total.
Hold on. Bigger, like 22 ounce Nooners?
I think they were 22 ounce.
2 of them. $42.
Very close. 52.
Holy fuck, $26 a pop.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Some rich ass rednecks out there.
I'll tell you what.
How many did you drink?
1 each. And then we got just
good flavor. It's like lime or watermelon.
It all tastes like you're drinking static on a TV and someone's yelling from the other room the name of a fruit.
I haven't heard that. That's really good.
All right. So the question is, would you go again?
Yeah, because I love Nashville. But if it were in like Birmingham, Alabama, no.
What happens if it was Hardy and Morgan Wallen and
what if it was Morgan, Hardy, Malone?
I've already seen it, so like it takes a little of the polish off, you know. But so last note on this, my streak holds strong with not paying for my drinks on the Southwest flight.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
We got 2 drinks. When the lady came up, she was like, I'll just charge you for one. I'm like, it's going to be hers.
I got a streak.
So I got a streak going.
That's funny.
I love that they have so much leeway with that, where they're just like,
I don't know. I haven't been on since I went to Italy in June. It was the first international flight that I've ever been on. Man, they just pour drinks in you on an international flight.
Because they just wanted to knock you out.
Oh, dude, it was crazy. Like, I don't remember. I think I was just like drinking scotches or whiskeys or I was something. And every time, like they give you just 2 bottles. Like you get a double every time you get a drink. I'm like, nah, I just want it. It's like,
take 2.
Take 2.
It's less work. It's less work for them.
Right. Yeah,
they got to come back.
Yeah.
So, Steve, what do you got?
Well, something that we thought was never going to happen in our lifetime or anyone's lifetime, honestly, is about to happen in the city of Baltimore.
Oh.
The Inner Harbor water has been disgusting for as long as I can remember. There is
since we were kids. I mean, it was always like
since we were kids. I mean, back in the industrial era, all the places used to
just dump their
toxic waste into that fucking harbor.
But the Waterfront Partnership of Baltimore announced that the harbor will be swimmable in 2024.
No fucking way.
They're skewing those fucking test results.
For real.
So
I mean, every time it rains, like E. coli is found in the Inner Harbor because the sewer system is junk.
So
remember the Fatberg?
Yeah. The what?
The Fatberg. It was like an iceberg, except it was the big clump of fat that was in the Baltimore sewers.
Yes, I remember watching them break that up. It was like
disgusting. Imagine what that thing smelled like.
I know. So originally they wanted to have the harbor swimmable by 2020. So they realized that that's not going to happen.
I remember when they were like starting to try to do that, and they were like planting like water plants and shit to filter the water out.
Yes, and they have the that
Mr. Trash Wheel.
They got
like a bunch of them
that goes around.
The harbor is nothing but a gridlock of Mr. Trash Wheels.
and between every single Mr. Trash Wheel is a dude throwing something into the water.
Now, because of the trash wheels, that the harbor looks like it's going to be swimmable next year. They actually have an event called the Harbor Splash.
I'll do the second annual Harbor Splash. I'll see what happens to those
test
people.
Results.
Yeah, they are going to have a thing where people can jump in the water, and they're going to put trails in the water for people to swim in. So
What do you
that's
mean,
interesting.
trails?
Like lap lanes.
Yeah, like lap lanes. So they're going to put it all around the harbor, and people are going to be able to jump in. They are going to do in the spring a test.
Wow,
there's going to be a test where you can go sign up, swim. They're going to test your vitals to make sure that you're okay after swimming in it. You have to do.
They should test it before and after. Really.
Yeah, so they're going to do before and after. Make sure that you don't get sick from swimming in the harbor, and then
fucking glowing.
And then if not, in the summer, Harbor Splash 2024 is fucking officially on.
It's going to be nothing but homeless guys bathing in there. It just really is going to.
Like, as someone who spends a decent amount of time swimming in the Chesapeake Bay and like feels a little dubious about doing it, like out where there's a lot of water that doesn't have the most disgusting shit in the world, like on the very bottom.
Yeah,
I don't
feel
know
like
how
they'd
I feel
have
about that.
I mean, the harbor by nature, it stops at downtown right there, so it doesn't. There's no flow. There's no flow of the water. It just gathers right there, and just the muck just sits.
Sits there
It doesn't
right
go
in that
anywhere.
corner by Phillips.
Yeah. Okay.
That was something that like I always heard is they can't actually dredge the bottom of the water because if they were to dredge it, then like there was I think a soap like one of the big soap companies used to be there, and soap is like it's a pretty toxic process. And
we've all watched Fight Club.
Yeah, and like that's just one of like the many things that are like at the bottom, and if they were to like dredge that and try to clean that shit up, it just makes it into a uninhabitable environment.
Probably 13, 14. My buddy Ron, we were down there with his mom, and I don't know, we might have gone to the aquarium or something down there, and we were walking along the edge because if you haven't been to the Inner Harbor, for anyone who doesn't live in Maryland, there's nothing between you and falling in the harbor other than common sense. Because there's no rope, there's no railing, there's no nothing for a large majority of it. So you can just walk into the harbor.
Yeah.
So he was walking along and dipping one foot down as he was walking to be a 13-year-old boy, and he hit like a slimy algae patch with the one foot that he was like dipping down, and just banana peeled. Fell into the harbor in the absolute corner where it is the worst of the worst.
There's like a film on top.
Yeah, it's green. There's just trash, and it's like not moving with the rest of the water because it's so thick of crap. He fell right in there, popped up. My uncle who was with us like reached down and like picked him up.
He didn't jump in after him.
Oh, no. This motherfucker smelled so incredibly bad.
How long was he in it?
10 seconds, maybe. I mean, it was like maybe less, maybe more, but like it was quick. It was like fell down, and then everyone's screaming, because nobody knows what the fuck's happening. And then it was like he pops up, and he's just like covered in like green,
got trash on his shoulder and shit.
And we pull him up, and he's just like obviously covered head to toe in crap. And we're walking by, and I'll never forget this homeless guy goes, "He smells like shit." And it was like, holy shit. And we went down in a pickup truck, and they made him sit in the back.
I was going to ask you,
he sat in the back. So
yeah, it would feel like you would just need to get sprayed off with like a fucking hose.
Give him a tomato bath.
Oh yeah, is that how you get rid of skunks?
It doesn't really work.
Have you tried?
Yeah, one time when we were at
Biff, your dog Biff.
Yeah, it was me, old Katie, my dog, Dylan, Jackie, and their dog. And for some reason, we took Jackie's parents' minivan. And the last night we were there, it was like a perfect night out. So I had this 2-person sleeping bag, and I was like, I think we should just throw the sleeping bag out in the grass and like sleep out on the grass tonight. Like it's gonna be a perfect night. And so she was cool with it, and Biff just laid in the grass like right next to us, and he slept there all night. And I heard him get up and walk away a few times, but he was such a good dog. And sometime early in the morning, as the sun was coming up, I heard him like run off, and like actually like run off. But I was like, that place was great because he could be gone, and I would yell for him and just give it a second. Then all of a sudden, you'd hear him like running, coming back. But he came back after we'd fallen back asleep, and I got woken up by his stink. Like he got sprayed by a skunk, and it was terrible. And we had to ride back in this minivan with Biff, and it stunk out the minivan. Like that thing smelled like skunky dog. Felt terrible.
Well, I'll get into the worst transition ever.
Harbor stinks, and so does Florida.
This story just struck me as odd, and for no real reason. I don't know why. I don't even know why half the shit of Florida makes the news, right? Because
it's so fucking weird. And,
I can actually tell you exactly why. Florida has some like super relaxed laws in regard to like the police being informing of the ongoings of like arrests and cases and stuff like that. So like where if you were to like call a police station and say like, hey, what's going on with this? They like, oh, we can't talk about it. But Florida, they'll tell you everything.
Oh, okay.
So it's like you don't have to be proven guilty before it comes out. It can just be mentioned. Yeah. Authorities in Florida are searching for an unknown driver known as Booty Patrol for pulling over drivers and impersonating law enforcement. The DeSoto County Sheriff's Office wants the public's help in identifying the person driving a white Chevrolet that's been lurking in several counties. The suspicious vehicle is outfitted with blue and red lights as well as green decals. The words Booty Patrol appear to be plastered on both sides of the vehicle and on the front panel of the truck bed. But they're encouraging anyone who's been pulled over by the booty patrol to reach
get it out.
No word on what charges the suspects will face. It's also unclear what the booty patrol does after they pull the drivers over.
They don't know what he does?
I mean, might not be bad. Nobody's actually complained about it.
That was my first thought. I'm like, wouldn't they know if it was like inherently bad? People would be like, you know what? Maybe let the booty patrol slide.
Booty patrol might be the Robin Hood of DeSoto County, Florida.
Just massaging booty holes.
What do you think he does?
Checks on that booty.
He like pulls him over and he steps out.
Steps out of the vehicle.
Damn, that's good booty. Turn sideways, please. You may go.
I touched the thing with my lips.
I was looking at you lipping on that mic. I was like, holy shit.
I didn't realize it.
He's mouthing that son of a bitch.
I'm the only one that uses this one, so.
So if anybody has any information on the Booty Patrol, you can contact Jim and Steve at Facebook, or maybe reach out to us on Instagram, because we would love to break this story wide open.
And if you've been arrested by the Booty Patrol and spent any prison time for it, tell us your prison stories.
We came up on that in March.
I
know. You laughed, and so did Prison Story Praying.
So this was episode 98. I don't want you back next week, Joe, but would you be willing to come back for a 100th episode? Because I feel like you need to be here for that one.
I'm in.
Yeah, because we count Jim, Joe, Steve show episodes. So.
All right. Well, I'm Jim.
I'm Steve.
And I'm Joe.
We'll see you next time.